Hello and welcome to another episode of The Racing Report. My name is Rob Peeters and I am your host for this fabulous little half hour where we're going to discuss everything racing. Everything from Formula 1 to IndyCar to IMSA to NASCAR to the Chili Bowl. Everything that's automotive and runs on four wheels, we are talking about it today on this show. So, reminder, my name is Rob Peeters. I'm a motorsports journalist and I work here at WTHR. And you can follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky, social media, Instagram, either whatever you're looking for. You can go ahead and follow me right now. My handle is at rpeters33. That's RPEETERS 33, and I frequently retweet motorsports news. I give my opinions on it as well. This show is more of a news show than maybe my opinion show. If you like opinions, I have a podcast that's coming back here in a couple of weeks where we're going to talk about racing and my opinions on racing every week throughout the racing schedule. So, but before I get into more self-promotion, we'll go ahead and jump right on in to the meat of the show, because today we're talking about news that's happening in the world of racing as we gear up for the Rolex 24 at Daytona, which is coming up this weekend, this Saturday and Sunday. Down there in Daytona Beach, Florida. So let's go ahead and start off with Formula 1 news first today. We'll start off with that because Lewis Hamilton has made his first laps in a Ferrari during a test session on Wednesday. Around the test track in Maranello that Ferrari has. He took the last year's Ferrari Formula 1 car out for a spin, and let me tell you, it's going to take some getting used to, maybe. I think a lot of people are going to be kind of having some culture shock or just some adjustments to make seeing Sir Lewis Hamilton out there in a red Formula 1 car. So get used to seeing that. You could check out that video that's going all over the internet right now. If you have social media, I'm sure you've seen it by now. Meanwhile, Gene Haas has announced that, or Gene Haas, not necessarily announced, but Ao Komatsu, the new team principal of Haas, who's now been there for about a year, has said that Gene Haas will not be funding the program for the first time since the team joined the F1 grid back in 2016. So Gene Haas, apparently, he's been funding the team for the most part. Now they have enough sponsorship agreements and enough money coming in to that team that they don't need Gene Haas's help anymore. So that's big news there in the world of Haas F1. That's the American Formula 1 team that does exist right now. And that's very, very big news there, because that's the first time that Haas team has not had to rely on funding from Gene Haas, which is big because now Gene Haas is, funding his own NASCAR program again, just like he was all those years ago and long before he even founded this Formula 1 team. Now, more Formula 1 news. South Africa's government has apparently opened up the bidding process to become a new Formula 1 Grand Prix. Now, they have this comes following a 32-year hiatus, in which case Formula 1 last raced in South Africa, and that was at Kyalami in 1993. Now, the agreement that the South African government is looking to get is apparently a 10-year agreement with Formula 1. That's what they're trying to work out right now. And they haven't stated what track that the race would take place at. However, they have noted that Kyalami is currently being upgraded to FIA Grade 1 standards, and the city of Cape Town has apparently a proposal on the table to bring a street race to the downtown city there of Cape Town. So, some interesting news coming on the front of Formula 1 calendar. Now, remember, the calendar is quite congested, and we more or less know what the 2026 calendar is going to look like. We know that the Dutch Grand Prix is not going to be on the calendar after the 2026 season, and we also know that the Belgian Grand Prix is going to rotate and not be on the calendar in 2028 or 2031. So, with those two pieces of news in mind, it'll be interesting to see if South Africa is able to negotiate a deal for 2027, which I think they say is more likely than 2026. So we could see a South African Grand Prix back on the Formula 1 schedule as early as 2027. But again, everything is still in motion. We'll have to see how that all plays out in the future. And that is it for Formula One news. Not really a whole ton. Again, it's still the off season for Formula One. All the seats have been secured, so we really don't have any driver news necessarily to discuss. But we will move on now into IndyCar news because there's a decent amount to discuss here in the show. So first of all, we want to mention that Marco Andretti has announced that he's going to return to the Indianapolis 500 as his only IndyCar race in 2025. He'll drive the number 98 for Andretti Global, much like he has been doing for the past several seasons. So good to see Marco back out in the Indianapolis 500. And then some very big news. We talked about last week how Prema Racing had launched its IndyCar team in Charlotte. Well, now their head engineer was supposed to be Michael Cannon, who they poached from AJ Foyt Racing. But now Michael Cannon has already left the team. Can you believe that? I couldn't believe it when I first read it. I had to go back and say, oh, is that real? Is that really happening? But yes, sure enough, it is. Now, in a statement given to Trackside Online, which is a great website, if you haven't checked them out, please be sure to, Michael Cannon apparently said that he felt that the majority of his advice that he was offering was being disregarded or simply ignored at Prema. And then he also felt that his time at Prema was not going to be used wisely, so he decided he's going to resign. After only a handful of months on the job with Prema. So now Prema's probably going to be looking for a new lead engineer. And I don't know, but Michael Cannon is a very sought-after engineer in the IndyCar paddock, so it'll be interesting to see where he lands. If he goes back to AJ Foyt, if he goes somewhere else, I don't know. I'll be very curious to see how that all moves forward. Next news here is that Penske Entertainment has now taken over as the promoter of the season finale race in Nashville. So last year and the years before, when it was on the street race, and again last year when it was on the oval, it was done by Scott Borchetta's Big Machine group. And now Penske Entertainment has come in and said, no, we're going to promote this race this year. But Scott Borchetta is still going to stay on. It's still going to be called the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. Maybe could be Indy 200. I would prefer it be in Big Machine Indy 200, but that's just the old IRL fan in me. Yes, and I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me. Keep in mind, I'm a millennial, okay? I grew up with the IRL and kart racing at the same time, and instead of taking sides because I was too young to really even care, I just liked both of them. I just liked both the IRL and Champ Car, and I still do. I still like what the IRL did. I still like what Champ Car did. But, that's getting off topic. But, we'll see what this new Penske promotion works at. Because they've got it's interesting to me that they've now taken over promotion for a lot of other races as well. They've got Milwaukee. They've got Iowa, too. They've got Detroit and, of course, Indianapolis. So they're really kind of adding to their number of races that they promote, and I think that could be a good thing. But we'll have to see where that goes if Penske Entertainment can really promote this Nashville race. Because, again, I went there last year. I was a fan in the stands at that Nashville race last year. And let me tell you, it was great time. It was a great event. There was a lot of things to do. There was plenty of things to do for all types of different fans. The weather was great. Nashville Superspeedway in and of itself is a great facility. It's very surprising to me that it doesn't seem as popular as maybe it should be. It's, in my opinion, one of the best racetracks for a fan that exists out there. One of. There are plenty of other good racetracks, I promise, that are fan-friendly. But in my opinion, I felt like Nashville Superspeedway definitely has to be one of those. And so it'll be interesting to see what Penske does with it now that he's in charge of promoting it. Finally here, the last piece of news for the IndyCar world. This is interesting. We now know the prices for tickets to the Thermal Clubs race. Now, keep in mind, I'll just say this. How much money did I spend at Nashville last year? You could feel free to take a guess. But I'll say I used TickPick and got both 2 tickets for my wife and myself for, I would say, about $115 total. And that was both of us. And keep in mind, I used it through TickPick, so it was, I didn't buy directly through Nashville Superspeedway or Ticketmaster or anything. I went through TickPick. And so when I say that, if you live in Southern California right now and you're thinking, you know what, Long Beach is cool, but I've been there too many times. I'm going to check out this Thermal Club event. Here's how much you should get ready to spend, because ticket prices for the Thermal Club's first IndyCar points race are currently set for general admission at $450. Now, that's for a 3-day package. So you can't really buy one-day grandstand tickets. You have to buy 3-day packages. So that's the cheapest one. That's your GA. That's going to get you, I think, some seat privilege, if that. But that's your GA ticket. Now, if you're very rich and you've already gotten your tax refund, let's say, or you're planning on getting your tax refund, and you want to just blow it all on tickets to an IndyCar race, you can, because after taxes and fees, the VIP admission, that's the 3 days. You get 3 days out of that. That VIP admission is going to cost you $1,769.50. Now, that's according to Nathan Brown of IndyStar. So if you've read his article in the IndyStar lately, you'll see, yeah, that's how much it's going for the VIP package. Now, if you want to bring your kids along, let's say you've got kids who also like IndyCar, because believe me, I was that kid. My dad took me to IndyCar races when I was younger. You're still going to have to pay some money for them. So even though general admission prices for adults are $450, the general admission prices for kids, which, by the way, are discounted. They're $240 each. And again, that's for the whole weekend. So it's not just for one race, it's for the entire weekend. But again, Thermal Club is really charging you an arm and a leg to really go see these races. Now, again, it could be worse. Last year, the tickets were far more expensive, and they were close to like $5,000, but now they've gone down in price since then. But still, $1,700 is a lot of money for a VIP race ticket, when I'm pretty sure you could get a VIP ticket anywhere else for a lot less. Hey, I'm not rich. I can't afford to even go to the Thermal Club. I don't live in Southern California. I drive a Toyota Corolla, so believe me, I am not super rich when I say that. But, man, it kind of makes me wonder, you're down in SoCal. You got all these things going on. By the way, my thoughts and prayers are with everybody in Southern California dealing with these fires. I have some family out there, and I'm hoping and praying that they're able to recover as well. I still have friends out in North Carolina as well. I'm hoping they're recovering. But man, if you are in Southern California, they are just bleeding you dry. But hey, maybe that's what you signed up for when you moved out there. I don't know. Moving on into some IMSA news, because we're going to talk about more IMSA later on in the show, so don't go anywhere. Stick around, because we do have a little preview of the Rolex 24, because that's coming up. But NBC has officially announced its broadcast schedule for the upcoming IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Series in 2025. All races will be broadcast across NBC, USA Network, and Peacock. Peacock will also have 3 exclusive races, so if you want to watch the full IMSA WeatherTech Series this year, you're going to have to get Peacock, because 3 races, the 12 Hours of Sebring, the Detroit Grand Prix, and the race at Road America will all be exclusive to Peacock. So be ready to maybe shell out that money for Peacock if you want to watch all of the IMSA races this year. And then, in addition, the Rolex 24 this year will begin its broadcast on NBC before moving to USA. The overnight hours will be on Peacock, and then they'll pick it up again in the morning on USA. And then the checkered flag, will air on NBC. So be ready for that. All right. We have to take a break real quick, but when we come back, we're going to talk about NASCAR news, because we're getting ready for the Cookout Clash at Bowman-Gray and the Daytona 500, as well as other things going on in the NASCAR world. So don't go anywhere. You're watching The Racing Report. All right, welcome back to The Racing Report. My name is Rob Peeters, and now we're talking about NASCAR news, because there's a lot of it coming on here in the world of NASCAR. Now, we broke this news last week live on the show. It was technically live. I was reading it as I was recording it, because the news broke when I was recording it. So, but we have some more details now, because Justin Allgaier is indeed going to attempt the Daytona 500 here in a couple of weeks with Junior Motorsports. It will indeed be Junior Motorsports' first ever Cup start as that team. And we also know that Justin Allgaier, the car that he will drive will be car number 40. It'll be a Chevrolet, and it'll be sponsored by country music stars Chris Stapleton's whiskey brand. So we know more details about that. And apparently, according to Dale Jr., this is the only junior motorsports race that they have set up so far. So don't be expecting Junior to come back and run some cup races. Don't be expecting them to try to buy a charter or anything like that. This is just a one-off attempt because they got a great sponsorship deal with Chris Stapleton and his whiskey brand, and they're able to put it together and enter in Justin Allgaier. So be interesting to see that. And the entry list continues to grow to the Brickyard, to the Daytona 500, because also we have confirmation that Martin Truex Jr. is going to run the race with TRICON Garage. He's going to be driving number 56. It's going to be a Toyota Bass Pro Shop sponsorship. Cole Perrin as the crew chief. A nice little throwback for Truex fans, as he is basically semi-retired now. He's not running full-time anymore, so... this is also huge, and this is something I'm excited to talk about, because what you're watching right now, probably, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you are watching this on a FAST TV program platform. Now, what does FAST TV stand for? It stands for Free Ad-Supported Television, and these channels are popping up all over the place for various, you got Pluto TV's been out there for a while. You've got Peacock has some free TV channels, but you have to pay for them now. You have various other forms of ways to access free television. If you buy a new TV, you probably got the Roku channel on it, or you've got some sort of like Samsung TV Plus on it, where they have all these free channels. And they're exclusively streamed over the internet, but they're all free, and you can watch them all the one. Of course, there's nothing new per se. There's no new content. It's usually all reran content. Maybe depending on what channel you're watching, you could see some new content here and there. But for the most part, it's all going to be reruns or something like that. And they can do that because it's ad supported. They get all of their revenue from ads, and now that's internet ad money. And in some cases, that I don't know if that's better or worse than broadcast money. I imagine it's worse, but either way, the cost to operate one of these FAST TV channels is drastically lower than the cost to operate any other channel. So it's probably a lot cheaper to do this. So now when I say that, NASCAR has finally announced that they are launching a FAST TV channel called the NASCAR channel. Again, FAST is an acronym. It stands for Free Ad-Supported Television. Free Ad-Supported Television, acronym. So when I say that, this is major news, because if you're someone like me who constantly loves just NASCAR content, or you miss the Speed Channel, who else misses the Speed Channel? I do. I miss Speed Channel every single day of my life, okay? I grew up with the Speed Channel. Most kids were watching Saturday morning cartoons and eating their cereal. Well, I was too, but usually in the off season. When the racing season was on, my Saturday mornings were on Speed Channel. Formula One practice, qualifying, something like that. Maybe even a kart practice, qualifying. Some NASCAR content. They had a lot of really great programs on Speed Channel. Well, here's the thing. NASCAR channel is going to kind of be like that. Of course, it's all going to be NASCAR, but it's going to be kind of like that. So according to the press release that they've said, it's going to launch January 29th. And right now, as of right now, and the launch date, it's only going to launch on Tubi. Now, remember, Tubi is owned by Fox. So that could probably explain some things here. They've obviously got a deal with Fox and Tubi, and they're going to try and make that work. And I'm excited for it because, again, this is something I've wanted. If you are familiar, there is an F1 channel that exists out there, and that's also on Pluto. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime channels. It's on a couple of other different free those fast TV providers. The F1 channel is very similar to what NASCAR is launching. The F1 channel, my opinion, I think it's awesome. I mean, you get to watch classic F1 races. You get to watch re-airs of recent F1 races, F3, F2, F1 Academy, all different kinds of races, as well as documentaries and cool things like that. So NASCAR is going to have something very similar. So NASCAR says that Fast TV channel will feature classic races, tape-delayed airings of 2025 races. So, again, if you remember Speed Channel, Speed Channel used to re-air the most recent race every Thursday. If you remember that, we got to go back. I don't know how many people remember this, but every Thursday afternoon, Speed Channel used to re-air the most recent Cup race that aired. And on Wednesday, they would re-air the most recent Busch race at the time, I remember too. But that lasted for several years until, the end of Speed Channel, when I think they stopped doing it. But that... Hopefully, I don't know if it'll be on at Thursday afternoon, every Thursday afternoon, but we'll see. And in addition to that, we'll also have NASCAR documentaries, which I always am a sucker for. I love a good NASCAR documentary. And then it'll also have original content and podcasts. So think Dale Jr. Download, think Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, think maybe The Money Lap with Parker Kligerman and Landon Castle. You'll probably see things like that on that network, but for the most part, I'm looking forward to it. So remember, it's just like what you're watching now. If you're watching this on WTHR Plus, guess what? It's going to be the same thing. It's free. You don't have to pay for it, and all that stuff's going to be right there for you. So get ready for that. NASCAR channel's coming January 29th. More on this here, more Daytona 500 news. Jimmie Johnson has announced his Cup schedule will only feature 2 races this year. He will run the Daytona 500 if he can qualify, and then he will also run and attempt the Coca-Cola 600. So unlike the 6 races that Johnson ran last year, he's not coming to Indianapolis, which I'm kind of bummed about. But he is going to run at least 2 races coming up this year. And then Team Amerivet. It's a team we haven't talked about in a while, but we briefly mentioned that they were going to attempt more races this year. It's previously the Money Team. But they have announced that they're entering the Clash at Bowman-Gray, and they're going to enter a car with Burt Myers. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Burt Myers, he is a 12-time track champion in the Modified Tour at Bowman-Gray Stadium. So 12-time track champion. And this goes back, 25 ye's almost. That he's been, I think his first one was in 99. So it's been a while since, he's been around the block for a couple of times out there at Bowman-Gray. And additionally, Burt Myers is also a 2-time NASCAR Southern Modified Tour champion and 3-time Smart Modified Tour champion. So lots of experience in a modified car, lots of experience at Bowman-Gray Stadium. Hopefully it'll pay off for him and Team Amerivet. Also in the world of backmarker, our lovable backmarker cars, Carl Long's Motorsports Business Management, or MBM, has announced that they will be rebranding their Cup operation, only their Cup operation. The Xfinity operation is still going to be known as MBM, but their Cup operation is now going to be known as Garage 66, and they're going to attempt two races in the first 2 races. They're going to enter in the Clash, and they're also entering in the Daytona 500. So with the Clash, they're going to enter Garrett Smithley in the number 66, and then, as we knew, Mike Wallace, his sponsorship, he was denied the ability. He was to race in the race by NASCAR. So we now know that Garage 66 has replaced him with Chandler Smith, who brings sponsorship for that team. So Chandler Smith, who, by the way, went back down to the Truck Series, he's going to get another Cup start at the Daytona 500, this time with MBM. Now, in some sponsorship news, interesting news here, King's Hawaiian has moved its primary sponsorship from RFK Racing to Joe Gibbs Racing and Denny Hamlin's number 11 Toyota, and that is going to most likely, it's only going to be, about a 4 or 5 race deal. And this comes because Denny Hamlin has indeed lost FedEx sponsorship and sponsorship from Mavis Tire and Auto. 2 very big anchor sponsors from Denny Hamlin. He's still got Sport Clips. I think he's still got a couple other, like Joe Gibbs Racing sponsors. But, overall, 4 race deal now for King's Hawaiian. And they already announced that they were probably going to be moving on from RFK Racing because their brand didn't really mesh well with the Kroger brand, and they didn't feel like they could stay there. So they're taking their sponsorship over to Joe Gibbs Racing and Denny Hamlin for a 4 race deal. Finally, this is pretty cool. This is our final piece of NASCAR news before we move on into previewing the Rolex 24 and recapping the Chili Bowl. NASCAR has announced that the spring race at Phoenix will again feature an option tire, so they'll have 2 tire options at the spring Phoenix race, much like that was used at Richmond in the fall last year. Remember, very good race, very compelling race with the 2 tire options, 2 tire strategies. But here's the thing. NASCAR says if this softer tire, this option tire, is a success, they're going to bring only the option tire to the championship race at Phoenix. So the spring race at Phoenix is going to feature two alternate, the primary and the option tire, the harder and soft tire. And then if the soft tire works out, that's the only tire they're going to bring to the championship race. Be interesting to see how that works out. But anyway, we're going to take a break real quick, and when we come back, we're going to recap the Chili Bowl, and we're going to preview the Rolex 24 at Daytona. So don't go anywhere. You're watching the Racing Report. Welcome back to the Racing Report. Let's recap the Chili Bowl. The Chili Bowl Nationals wrapped up over the past weekend. And let me tell you something, guys. Another banger of a Chili Bowl. Every race, I can't get over how fun it is to sit and watch the Chili Bowl. Because I really feel like it's one of those few, week-long motorsports events. Really, we don't have a lot of those anymore. We used to have, Daytona Speed Weeks. We still have the Indianapolis 500, of course, and all the practice qualifying that leads up to that race. But when we're talking about a week straight, maybe in 2 weeks straight of just racing at the same location and having the Tulsa Shootout and the Chili Bowl all happen basically at the same around the same time, it's really great. And the Chili Bowl this year definitely delivered because Kyle Larson won his third career Chili Bowl Nationals, holding off Dyson Pursley in a 3-lap sprint to the finish that was triggered when Larson hopped the wall and almost ruined his race, almost wrecked out. The luck that Kyle Larson had to not wreck in that race was spectacular. And I thought for sure when he hit that wall, I thought it's over for Larson. There's no way he's going to come back from this. But no, he hung on and he won the race. Now, some people have criticized the decision and they say, well, if you bring out a caution, shouldn't you be sent to the back of the field? And I think at dirt racing, that's a bit of a gray area because I kind of understand the argument and the logic for that, because sometimes, depending on the situation, you could very well bring out a caution that benefits you, and you take advantage of that. But I don't think this caution benefited Kyle Larson. If anything, it took away his advantage. It took away his lead, and really, I just kind of felt like there's no other way to end that race. You can't penalize Larson for not actually wrecking, if he needed a push start, then maybe I could see that kind of argument be made. But Larson didn't require a push start. I mean, the car was still running. So I don't really see how you can send him to the rear for when his car was still running. Again, if his car was not running and they had to bring out one of those ATVs and give him a push start, then yeah, I would say send him to the back. But since that didn't happen, I'm of the opinion that Larson earned the win, and it was a great race as well. And all the preliminary races, all the heat races, everything, all the alphabet soup leading up to it, just fantastic, fun, enjoyable. Other notable drivers here, only a couple, because there were some, most drivers going through the alphabet soup. It could be very, very hard to work your way from the H main all the way up to the A main. It's very hard to do that because you have to come from the back of basically all of the mains, and it's not easy. But Christopher Bell was the second highest finishing NASCAR regular. He finished 10th in the A main. He did transfer into the A main. Kyle Busch was unable to transfer into the D main after he finished 14th in the E main. So that was the Chili Bowl this year. If you watched it, I hope you enjoyed it. Flow Sports had a little bit of a technical issue, which happens. It happens from time to time with them. It is what it is. But they put out a little bit of it for free on YouTube. So if you were able to watch some of those races, maybe you didn't have to pay the $150 yearly fee that Flow Sports charges you. Anyway, let's wrap up this show real quick with a preview toward this weekend's Rolex 24 at Daytona. There's going to be a stacked lineup, really. I mean, we are looking at drivers from all different disciplines of motor racing. I mean, we have Formula One drivers, former Formula One drivers, I should say. We have NASCAR drivers. We have IndyCar drivers. We have Formula E drivers. We have all drivers from all different disciplines. We have some of the best sports car drivers on the planet, of course, already in the race. And in general, I'm looking forward to it. So remember, the race goes green on Saturday afternoon around 1:30. That race is going to go green, and then it's going to wrap up 24 hours later. So it's going to start on NBC, so keep that in mind. So if you're looking for the start of the Rolex 24, it's going to be on NBC, and then it's going to transition over to over to USA Network, and it's going to be on USA until about the overnight hours. Now, again, I don't think any of this has been confirmed, but this is what last year they did. This was how the broadcast agreement worked last year, so I'm kind of just assuming it's going to be the same. We'll see, but I do know that it's very likely that the overnight hours, like those early morning, like that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. hours, those are probably going to be on Peacock exclusively, but I imagine around, 7, 8, 9, USA will probably pick back up, and you'll be able to watch it if you have traditional cable. But if you don't have traditional cable, you only have Peacock, you can watch the entire race on there. You don't have to switch over channels. You can just watch the whole thing on Peacock. So that's a pretty cool deal, I guess, if you like to pay for Peacock, since not IndyCar's not on there anymore. I think NASCAR is going to be on there, but I don't know how many. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, that is it for this episode of the Racing Report. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you're looking forward to the Rolex 24, because now that we've gotten the Chili Bowl out of the way, we're going to get the Rolex 24 coming up, and racing season is going to be officially back, because then NASCAR comes back. Then we got a month out until IndyCar and Formula One both come back, and it's going to be thrilling. Formula E, of course, is still in action. IMSA will continue racing. We'll have the 12 hours of Sebring after the Rolex 24. So lots of things going on to look forward to, in addition to, of course, your local short tracks. Always make sure to get out to your local short track, support that grassroots racing, because that's real important when it comes to big world racing that we talk about on this show. You got to support your grassroots, otherwise you won't have your big league races come to your city. So that is it for this episode of the Racing Report. I really hope you enjoyed it. Again, be sure to follow me on social media. That's RPEETERS33. Be sure to follow WTHR on Twitter, on Facebook, on all those platforms. Be sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel, and be sure to keep up to date on WTHR Plus, because there'll be a new episode of the Racing Report every week that you can watch live and on demand on WTHR Plus. So, for Rob Peeters, this has been the Racing Report. Enjoy the Rolex 24.